Yo, okay. Now look, I really wish I would have gone to see the Michael movie and the crowd was this lit for the end of the movie. All right, so next video, let's get it on. Why Michael Jackson is still dominating Gen Z playlists. Video by Star Stacks. Now, this is a follow-up video to one that I have actually on my gaming channel before my pop culture channel was even thought of. I did a video about why Gen Z is obsessed with Michael Jackson over on the gaming channel, which I'm going to leave it in the end screen. I'm going to leave that video in the end screen for y'all. But yeah, this is a follow-up video because the Michael movie, by the way, before his birthday, August 29th, is on pace to hitting $1 billion in worldwide box office, which is fucking insane if you ask me. And by this time next month, it will surpass Oppenheimer as the highest grossing biopic of all time. So if y'all haven't seen the Michael movie already, feel free to do so. Also, Mocha, my love, how are you? It's good to see you, baby. What's up? How you doing? How you doing, sweetheart? It's good to see you. Everybody, go check out Mocha Pedals if you haven't already. Oh, here I was giving a shout out and I accidentally gave a hug. But you know what? Either way, it's all good. You feel me? It's all good. But okay, we are going to do a follow-up video to that because apparently Michael Jackson has not only topped the box office, but he's also topping Spotify playlist. So let's see what Star Stacks has going on, and yeah, enjoy. Yo, okay. Now look, I really wish I would have gone to see the Michael movie and the crowd was this lit for the end of the movie, which I'm going to spoil the ending for y'all. Okay, I'm going to spoil it. But yes, the ending of the Michael movie ends at London 1988 Wembley Stadium during the Bad Tour. All right. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen the actual Bad Tour concert, please do. It is absolutely amazing. But yeah, I really wish I would have gone to a screening of Michael and the audience was this lit. I really do, bro. Like, yo, look at everybody just having a good time, brother. Oh, man, if Mike was here right now, I guarantee you he would have done a concert to end race. Like, yo, think about it for a second. He did a song that ended gang violence, racism, and war and world problems with Earth Song, Black or White, and Beat It. Like, yo, that's fucking crazy. Fucking insane if you ask me, for real. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Bro, I've seen some clips saying that okay, they're trolling. They're trolling because ain't no way. They're trolling. Cause who the hell is NBA Youngboy? I'm being dead ass when I say this. Who is NBA Youngboy? MJ would have felt so loved considering all he went through during his final years. Facts. And if you want to find out about Michael Jackson's about his later years, if you go to my second YouTube channel, Mocha, I have a video on that, which I will continue to plug my second YouTube channel. Y'all go check that out. But anyways, let's continue.
Let's start with a number that should not exist. Michael Jackson currently sits at roughly 64 to 68 million monthly listeners on Spotify. That's more than Beyonce, more than Chris Brown, more than dozens of active artists who are alive, touring, and spending millions on marketing right now. Michael hasn't released a studio album since 2001. He's been dead for nearly 17 years, and yet he's out streaming almost everyone on the planet. Something is happening beneath the surface of the music industry. Numbers like these defy the typical life cycle of a legacy artist. But here they are, real and verifiable. So what's actually going on? Let's break it down.
It's the Michael movie. Shit, what else can I say? The Michael movie has really done wonders for the Jacksons and, like, you know, his entire legacy. Like, how do you have this much motion and you haven't logged onto your Earth server in 17 years? That is fucking insane. Um, like, that is crazy. A whole new generation got exposed to Michael. It's beautiful. And it's not even so much, well, actually, yeah, you could say a new half of a generation, because I'm one of the OG Gen Zers, all right? I'm one of the earliest forms of Gen Z from 1997 until like 2007, 2008. Like, that's my generation. When I went to go see the Michael movie for my birthday, I took my nieces with me. And my 4-year-old niece is no. My 7-year-old niece was literally moonwalking. And she was doing all of the kicks and the hee-hees and all that stuff. And I was just like, wow. And it only gets crazier too, because on my actual birthday, which was May 2nd, like, my family, we all got together, had a barbecue, and, you know, I put on Moonwalker because I was like, I haven't seen Moonwalker yet. I know, kill me. And my 4-year-old niece was locked in. She was locked in watching the whole movie. I was just like, this is crazy. Like, this is absolutely wild. And now my 7-year-old niece, who is playing softball right now, her walk-on theme song, like, before she goes up to bat, it's Bad by Michael Jackson. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep it pushing.
Jackson's catalog has accumulated over 13.5 billion streams on Spotify alone. These are tracks recorded before most of Gen Z was born. Billie Jean, Thriller, Beat It, each pulls in billions of plays. Thriller alone sits at 2.64 billion streams. The official Billie Jean video on YouTube is closing in on 2 billion views. This isn't a slow drip from nostalgia.
2 billion views. God dang, bruh. Like, how? How, Sway? As she should, yeah. It also doesn't help that she's a beast at softball. It's crazy that Michael and Prince had beef. I mean, hey, I wouldn't necessarily call it beef, but it's more so like professional beef. You know what I'm saying? Like how rap beefs used to be back in the day, where you would just go into the booth and just put out hit after hit after hit. Like, that would be the determining factor of who wins a beef. Now, when it comes to Michael and Prince, it was just two dudes who dominated an era and wanted to be the best and did everything they could to do it. Now, I'm just saying, from a non-biased perspective, Michael for sure won that beef. I mean, who else can win, 7 Grammys in one night? You tell me. High key, Bad was your favorite Michael Jackson era? You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I mean this from a non-biased place, but after listening to both Bad and Dangerous cover to cover, no skips, I gotta say, Dangerous was low-key his underrated era. Like, Dangerous and his story, low-key underrated, because one thing y'all gotta understand about MJ was he adapted to the sounds of the decade. Like, when he did Off the Wall in the early 1980s, it was the coming out of the funk and disco era. Then you go into the 1980s with pop, so it was like mainly just drum and bass. Although there was still a little bit of funk. There was just like a tiny bit of funk still in Thriller and Bad, or Thriller, I should say. But when Bad came out, he wanted it to sound like it was a stadium, like a stadium. He wanted to sound like music that you would play at concerts. And so I think that's where him and Quincy Jones kind of got into it. But that's a whole, like, him and Quincy Jones, that's a whole different video. But yeah, Bad, he wanted to really separate himself from, like, his childhood and his Jackson era. And he also wanted to outdo Thriller, which is a whole different beast in itself. But then you get to Dangerous and his story. It was hip hop, new jack swing of the 90s. if y'all are real 90s fans like that, y'all would know New Jack Swing was the wave in the 90s. And then of course in the 2000s with Invincible, it was R&B. But it's crazy though how Mike was always adapting to the sounds of the decade at that time, and that's what makes him a real versatile artist. The fact that he can take any genre, any beat, and just put out bangers like that, man, shit. Y'all cannot tell me this dude was not the GOAT. I refuse to be convinced that Michael Jackson is not the GOAT.
Playlists. These are tidal waves of current listening. In April 2026, Spotify's own API showed 32.5 million monthly listeners for MJ. That number doesn't fade. It holds steady or climbs with every major cultural moment. For context, Beyoncé hovers around 38 million. Chris Brown sits at 21 million. But here's the key difference. Jackson's numbers aren't fueled by a new album, a global tour, or a viral controversy. They're driven entirely by a catalog that refuses to age out of the algorithm. Billie Jean doesn't just survive in the background of oldies playlists. It dominates flagship playlists, lands on Discover Weekly, and stays in heavy rotation on curated charts. Smooth.
And you know what's crazy too? Apple Music, I mean, look, Spotify, that's just half of the story. Apple Music is an entirely different beast on its own, because even before the Michael movie came out, I had recommendations of, I think it was Bad and Off the Wall. And now granted, I haven't used Apple Music in months before this time, because normally when I work out to like video game music and like, you know, all this other shit. But I was happen to scroll through Apple Music once, and I got Bad and Off the Wall on my recommend, and I was just like, oh, Michael Jackson, oh, nice, that's pretty cool, you know, Michael Jackson, you know, I can listen to him, you know, when I'm on the road chilling. And then the Michael movie gets announced, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. And then lo and behold, the rest is history. Favorite song is Dirty Diana because that female guitarist killed it. Oh, my brother in Christ. Check out the live performance of Dirty Diana. Please do. You're going to be like, damn, she liked that.
Criminal has racked up over 763 million Spotify streams. Beat It has crossed 1.3 billion. Across 150 official releases, Michael Jackson's catalog has become a digital juggernaut. It generates more engagement than most active pop stars could ever dream of. These are not the metrics of a legacy act quietly fading into history. These are the fingerprints of an artist whose work has become part of the internet's DNA. For Gen Z, Michael Jackson isn't a memory. They're streaming him like he never left. So how does a teenager in 2026 even discover Michael Jackson? The answer is TikTok. A teenager scrolling through...
Of course. Of course. TikTok, I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I hate, I don't want to say hate, but as much as I rag on TikTok, like, you can't deny it. You really cannot deny it. Once something goes viral once on TikTok, it sticks with you forever.
TikTok today is just as likely to stumble onto Michael Jackson as they are to find a new release from Drake. But here's how it actually happens. The first point of contact is almost never a full song. It's a 12-second moonwalk, a bass drop from Billie Jean, a split-screen dance challenge. These clips move fast. One viral hashtag Michael Jackson video can rack up 12 million views in a single...
Yo, Pedals, that's some real shit. That's real. That's real shit. TikTok is our MySpace. Yes. Yes, actually, I wouldn't even say MySpace, really. This is their version of Vine. Because like all of the dumb memes that, you know, the millennials and the early Gen Z know about, it comes from Vine. This is their version of Vine. I don't know. I think maybe Instagram might be their equivalent to MySpace, but TikTok is definitely the Gen Alpha version of Vine. I miss Vine so much. Me too. Like, me too. Oh my goodness. Like, y'all remember come over to Del Taco and get some free Shabaka dudes. I know I'm going off topic, but free Shavakadoos. Man, that was viral for like ages, and now I wonder what they're doing. I hope they're doing okay. But also too, like even with Michael Jackson's latest album, Escape, that song Chicago, you know, the met her on the way to Chicago, like that went viral, and that was on an anime music video, which is fucking insane if you ask me. What's not okay? Okay, can we ban Joey? I greatly appreciate it. Come in here and get y'all juice. I remember that. I remember that. Hey, yo, that took me back to when I was 16. Golly. Stop making me feel old, okay? Just because I'm 29 doesn't mean that y'all can make me feel old, all right? It's already bad enough I got arthritis.
Single weekend, spawning thousands of duets and remixes. On TikTok alone, the hashtag Michael Jack has pulled in 1.24 billion views in the last 30 days. Hashtag Jackson Dance is close behind at 720 million. Hashtag Billie Jean Challenge and hashtag Thriller Challenge each break the 300 million mark. And that's just the surface.
What is the Thriller Challenge? Okay, now I'm intrigued. Because the Thriller Challenge, what that?
Pipeline is simple. A creator grabs 15 seconds of audio from the sound library, adds their spin, maybe a moonwalk, maybe AI restored concert footage, and the algorithm does the rest. The more duets, stitches, and reactions, the higher the sound climbs in the recommendation feed. Gen Z creators like @DanceWithTina, whose hashtag Billie Jean Challenge video triggered over 4,000 duets in 2 weeks, have become discovery engines themselves. Their clips don't just entertain, they launch waves of first listens as teens tap the song, follow the link, and stream the full track on Spotify or Apple Music. Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts amplify the effect. A single reel can go from a test audience to millions of views in days, while Shorts funnel curious viewers into the official music videos, sometimes boosting watch time by nearly 5% in a matter of days. The result is a feedback loop. Every viral clip, every trending hashtag, every dance challenge sends new listeners back to Jackson's catalog. A 40-year-old track feels as urgent and current as anything released today. But TikTok is only half the story.
Dog. Just imagine for 1 second. Just imagine if Michael Jackson, or if TikTok and Instagram and YouTube existed in 1982. Just picture that for a second. Because all of the records that Michael Jackson had in 1982 are really from 1979 until 2001, when he stopped, doing music full time. This was all pre-social media. This was all pre-internet. Dude would be like, I think the second closest person to be famous to Michael Jackson would probably be Jesus Christ himself. Like, if God, man, do not put Michael Jackson in social media era, because the dude would be damn near close to Jesus. And that says a lot.
Other half is play.
From what I've seen, it was really cool as some teens exploring other artists after falling down the MJ rabbit hole, like finding Whitney. Yeah. That's real shit. That's some real shit. Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, to an extent to Prince, because we all know Prince and MJ, will always be the iconic music, like, beef, quote unquote, if you could even call it that. But like, yeah, they discover, Prince, they discover early Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Hell, some of them even discover Motown. All right, we're talking the Temptations. We're talking about the Jackson 5, Diana Ross. Like, this even goes way before Whitney and Tina. Like, this goes even all the way back to Motown.
Playlist economics. A single Michael Jackson song doesn't live in one place. It multiplies across the digital landscape.
Smokey, yeah.
Billie Jean isn't locked to 80s playlists. It turns up on Dance Party, Feel Good Classics, road trip anthems, and even mood booster rotations.
Yo, yes. Road trips and party playlist. Yo, you cannot go to a party, right? Especially a Halloween party, and not hear Thriller. If you go to a Halloween party and Thriller is not on that playlist, gotta go. It's not even a real party like that. Like that's some real shit right there. Party playlist, road trip, mood boosters. Yeah, that's real.
Playlist curators, both human and algorithmic, treat his tracks as Swiss Army knives, genre fluid, instantly recognizable, and endlessly reusable. Spotify's backend reveals that top Michael Jackson songs appear in dozens of simultaneous playlists, sometimes more than any living artist. This overlap isn't random. Jackson's catalog checks every algorithmic box. High engagement.
Hold on a second here. Let me improve the quality of this, because yo, what the fuck was that blurry ass shit? Oh, this is 1080. Oh, that's, man, YouTube. Y'all got to fix y'all shit. Thriller is multicultural and generate. Yeah. That is definitely true too. Like really anything, like any Michael Jackson song you can think of, especially recently with Remember the Time. Golly, everybody knows that song now. They play it at the club one time. Like they just played the first like 5 seconds of Remember the Time, and everybody's like, oh, that's my shit. Like once you hear Michael Jackson in the club, it's over with. It is over with. Like forget it, bro. Like, yo, hoes will be throwing ass to anything, Mike. Yo, okay, let me stop. Let me be respectful. Let me be respectful. Okay. Remember, unlike some people, we love women in this chat. One thing I will say though, I am happy Michael wasn't alive for the social media era. Oh, baby. Let me tell you. Especially with these bitch ass motherfuckers like Nick Fuentes and Myron Gaines. Well, I don't know. I think Myron would have a little grace towards Michael Jackson, even though he's black. And we all know Myron Gaines hates black people. I don't know. I honestly don't know how Michael would be treated in the current social media era of today. I truly don't know, but that's very interesting. I would be intrigued to see how that would go. But yeah.
Strong completion rates, and cross-genre appeal. The more playlists a song occupies, the more chances it has to be surfaced to a first-time listener, often someone born decades after its release. For a Gen Z user, it's common to stumble onto Smooth Criminal on a workout mix, then see it again in a TikTok dance challenge, and once more in a curated iconic vocals lineup. Each touchpoint feeds the platform's recommendation logic, creating a loop where old tracks get treated as new discoveries. Curators describe Jackson's music as a playlist multiplier, a rare catalog that never bottlenecks in a single genre or era. The algorithm doesn't just tolerate his presence, it amplifies it. Every playlist ad, every save, every full listen sends a fresh signal back to the system. Michael Jackson's music isn't surviving, it's thriving in the age of digital curation. Then came the biopic. The arrival of the Michael biopic in April.
Yeah, the biopic, it just pretty much just speed ran everything up the algorithm. Oh, they would hate him. They'll say he's a race traitor. You know what? That's a good point considering his skin tone situation. Like, I could see them doing that. He was too sensitive for that much exposure. Even when the movie came out, they had to bring up and there's been a lot of news about that documentary that Netflix did. First off, I think they delisted the documentary. I think they delisted the Verdict documentary because it was just that poorly received. And also, too, Netflix lost a shit, and I mean a shit ton of subscribers just from that alone. So yeah, don't come for the king unless you ready to stand on it. Like, let's be 100% honest. It was a second time. Wait, hold up. Was it 2022 or 2019 when they did that Leaving Neverland documentary? What year was that? Because I remember hearing something about that. I heard people canceling. Yeah, I think they lost like almost 5 million subscribers from that. 2019. Oh, damn. Damn, that was a long ass time ago. Sheesh.
2026 didn't just spark headlines, it sent a measurable shockwave through streaming platforms. When the first official trailer premiered on YouTube in November 2025, it racked up 116 million views in 24 hours. Within days, Spotify's API recorded a 12% jump in Michael Jackson's monthly listeners, peaking at 36.1 million. Neither Beyoncé nor Chris Brown, both tracked as benchmarks, saw more than a 2% bump during the same window. Each milestone left a data trail. The Cannes Film Festival screening in February 2026 nudged Jackson's listener count up another 4%. The launch of the curated Michael Original Soundtrack playlist on Spotify, with 50 million followers, pushed the average to 34.4 million.
Also, too, just a little sidebar. This coming Thursday, June 25th, we are going to do a special stream in honor of Michael Jackson. We're going to be playing Moonwalker on stream. I've never played Moonwalker before, so this is going to be very interesting.
Theatrical release brought the biggest surge. Opening weekend box office hit $85 million. Streaming peaked at 35.9 million monthly listeners, up 9% from baseline. Correlating these events with API snapshots reveals a clear pattern. Every major biopic moment triggered a fresh spike in catalog consumption. Statistical analysis shows a Pearson correlation of 0.71 between media exposure and streaming uplift. On average, every 100 million media impressions delivered a 5.2% rise in listeners. The mechanics were primed, the biopic was the spark. Jackson's catalog didn't just ride the wave. It created it, and don't forget the superstar referral chain. When The Weeknd calls Michael Jackson his blueprint, or Bruno Mars posts a moonwalk rehearsal to millions of followers.
I mean, it's between The Weeknd and Bruno Mars. I mean, their catalog speaks for itself. Like, if you look at their biggest hits, like "I Can't Feel My Face," that's 100% Michael Jackson coded. The entire 24 Karat Magic album, you would have thought Michael Jackson was in the studio. Like, let's be so for real here. Mike has always been the blueprint.
It's more than flattery. It's a living endorsement. BTS weaves Jackson's choreography into their stadium shows. Usher remixes Don't Stop Till You Get Enough for a new generation. Chris Brown tags MJ's official account in viral TikTok dances. Justin Timberlake blends Black or White into his Grammy set. Even Beyoncé, streaming in the tens of millions herself, credits MJ's vocal layering as inspiration for her latest tour. Each time these artists point backward, their fans follow. Streams spike, playlists update, Gen Z listeners land on the source. The influence chain isn't abstract. It's a direct referral path multiplying demand for Jackson's catalog every time a superstar tips their hat. Behind all of this is a business move that changed the game. In 2024, the Michael Jackson estate inked a record-shattering deal with Sony, selling a 50% stake in Jackson's master catalog for $600 million.
Yeah, with Sony, man. And this is coming from somebody who is Team PlayStation all the way, but I will still never forgive Sony for doing how they did Mike. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I still love my PS5. I still love PlayStation, but like Sony, yeah, I'm gonna give y'all the biggest side eye considering how y'all treated Mike with the intentional flop of his Invincible album and the way that they treated him when all of the allegations and shit were going on. Both allegations, by the way. Wasn't very cash money of them for doing that, but very bold of them to do this record shattering deal, which is $600 million. That's crazy.
The agreement didn't just set a new benchmark for legacy music, it supercharged the estate's digital strategy. Sony took over global distribution and streaming rights. The estate kept tight control over branding, merchandising, and future royalties. The partnership funneled fresh capital into AI-powered video restorations, high-definition remasters, and direct playlist licensing with Spotify and Apple Music. No other legacy estate moves with this level of speed or precision. For context, Prince's catalog sold for $150 million.
Really? Why did my voice just crack? But really, that's interesting. Only 150 million. Okay.
Whitney Houston's estate lags behind on digital upgrades. Jackson's team times catalog events to cultural moments, leverages AI to breathe new life into classic videos, and ensures his tracks land on the most influential playlists. The result is a legacy catalog that behaves more like a living pop phenomenon than a museum piece. It outperforms its rivals at every turn. Now, not everyone buys the narrative. Scroll through Reddit threads or comment sections and you'll find skeptics asking if Gen Z's obsession is just hype or if streaming stats are being padded by algorithm tricks. One post on R. Michael Jackson asks, "Are these numbers real, or is this just Sony pushing the catalog?" A Gen Z fan fires back, "I found Michael Jackson through TikTok, not my parents. His music hits different, period." Cultural critics argue that viral trends cannot manufacture this kind of sustained engagement.
Shit. Shit.
Debate rages on, but the data is hard to argue with. Every time the numbers are questioned, another wave of teens post their first listen. Another dance challenge goes viral. Jackson's catalog climbs even higher. The skepticism only seems to fuel the cycle. So here's the bottom line. In a world where millions chase virality, Michael Jackson, gone for over a decade, still outstreams icons with new albums. Gen Z isn't just reviving his legacy, they're redefining it. Today, the algorithms orbit his catalog. Sometimes it's art that technology finally understands. What do you think? Is this organic fan power, algorithmic amplification, or the smartest legacy deal in music history? Drop your comment below. And if
I don't know, because if Sony was really pushing, the numbers up like that, then I can almost guarantee you Michael Jackson's streaming numbers would be much, much bigger than where they're at now. I'm just being 100% honest. But yeah, this is just absolutely insane how Michael Jackson got this much motion from beyond the grave. Absolutely insane. But okay,